Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who is looking to maximize the chaos and frenzy. They want people to be running around, not knowing how to interpret what's going on. So this could be someone who's looking to cause disruption in a workplace, looking to cause disruption within a family, or even within a friend group. But they feel like they know enough to be able to pull the right strings, or they feel like they can achieve what it is that they're trying to do. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. We're going to start off with, we'll go with the Tarot of the Nile. What else do we have? Page of Swords, Ten of Cups. So I see somebody has everything that they want, and I want to cause problems for them. So we could have a lot of jealousy at the core of this person's existence, because they're looking at this Ten of Cups and they're thinking, oh, I would love to mess that up. It's like, okay, so when I went to school, there was this really cool place that in the library that had sand. I feel like there should be like a better word to describe what I'm going for, but they would do like the Japanese garden thing and like trace patterns in it, right? And when you have that around a bunch, college students that drink, inevitably there's going to be people who think it's cute to like mess with that. So it's like someone comes across one of those like really beautiful gardens, and they're like, man, I think I just want to like walk across it. I just want to ruin that because it's so pretty. So they're looking at this Ten of Cups and they feel like, okay, well, let's see what happens if I test that strength. Let's see what happens if I throw a wrench in the mix. How do you respond, and can you handle it? Kind of like if you've ever seen Bar Rescue. They do a stress test, right? I mean, it's not like they're walking in and they're finding the Ten of Cups, but they're still like, okay, let's see where the actual issues are. What do we need to work on? So we have the Nine of Swords in the reverse and the Page of Pentacles. If we identify all of the problems, then we know what we're working with. But this isn't because someone's trying to renovate a bar. This isn't because somebody's trying to improve upon the situation. This is, I want to see where your weaknesses are so that I could take advantage of them, so that I could cause problems for you all. Hello, Rue. How you doing? What else do we have? Seven of Wands in the reverse, Six of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. So if I choose the right moment where you're not ready for it, like, the health inspector's not going to give you much of a warning, right? If I choose a moment where you feel like everything is just kind of like smooth sailing, no big deal, we don't have to worry about it. If I show up then and try to do this stress test or see what, weaknesses there are, what will I find out? I'm glad to hear that, Rue. Hello, Stefan. How are you doing? Hello, Jamike. What's up? I hope you're having a good day. So we've got the King of Cups, the Five of Wands. There she is, the Queen of Wands in the reverse. I said there might be some jealousy at the core of this reading. We've got somebody who says, wow, that's a really nice garden you got. Wow, that's a real nice house you got. It'd be a shame if somebody like threw some eggs at it. I see that you've got everything that you want, and I want to create some chaos because I don't have that, because I feel jealous, because I don't feel like I belong like that. So this Queen of Wands in the reverse is that deviousness, that like, let's see what happens if I really test you. You think you have the perfect family, you think you have the perfect team at your company. All right, let's see what happens if I do this. This is the Pulp Tarot. That's awesome, Rue, but I would also just caution, I don't know if you're over 18, but this is 18 plus territory. Like, I specify that these are not for kids. Thank you, Jamike. So we've got the Fool and the Seven of Cups. Justice in the reverse. Okay, so I'm going to act like I'm creating something of my own. I'm taking inspiration, or I'm admiring what you've got going on, looking at that cool garden or that business that you have. But secretly, I'm looking for like proprietary information to sell to your competitor. Secretly, I'm looking for secrets that could make your relationship look like it's less solid. They're looking for problems to start. Eight of Wands, Page of Pentacles in the reverse, Four of Cups. This is like somebody going to an open house, not because they want to buy the house, but because they want to like rob the house next door. They are doing this like recon or this like scouting, and it's with these intentions of causing problems, right? They had the Page of Pentacles in the upright, and now it's in the reverse. It's like, I'm gonna let you think this is what I'm doing. I'm buying a house, or I'm, you know, trying to set up my own restaurant. But really it's, I'm looking to see what weaknesses you have, what things I could potentially exploit. Hello, Theta. How you doing? Hello, Stephen. Hello, Egyptian Empress. It's true, Dracula. Hello, Aqua Beauty. What's going on? Hello, Outlaw. How are you doing? Two of Wands. There's that architect energy, right? I've got things that I need to plan. Now that I have the information, now that I've scouted out the area, now that I see what isn't working or what flaws there might be in the process or the system, now I'm going to take my leave and go finalize my plans. So I've done my recon. I've figured out where, you know, I could potentially cause the most damage. And now I'm going to go like make an itinerary, make something very specific. Yep, so far. I love music. How are you doing? That's like what my Scrabble board looked like the other day. It's awful when you're playing Scrabble and all you have is vowels. I mean, it's not really fun to have just the consonants either, but you know, if I had to choose. So with this Five of Wands in the reverse, Nine of Cups, it's like, no, I'm going to your face tell you, oh, this is great. This is everything I've ever wanted. Gosh, that 10 of Cups, that home life or that business that you have or that relationship that you have, gosh, that's great. Really, really love that for you. No, they don't. They're saying what they need to say to get what information they need. And I do feel like they're rather convincing. I do feel this is somebody who lies without even really thinking about it too much. We've got the Page of Wands in the reverse. So there's something here where they're not quite acting the same way that you would expect. Let's say this is somebody who's looking at cabinets. They want to buy cabinets. They don't have the measurements for where they want cabinets. Now, there's plenty of people out there who probably forget to do something like that before they go shopping for cabinets. But this is somebody who's meticulous in everything, and yet somehow they don't have the measurements. There's something like that that happens. So if you are the one with this 10 of Cups and you want to protect your energy from the chaos they want to deliver, then look for inconsistencies like that. You're very on point. You have all of the details for everything else, and yet you came here without measurements. Or you wanted to buy a car, but you don't have your driver's license. That's a choice. What does that say about you and your intentions? Maybe a little bit of food for thought, right? There's something that doesn't add up. Hello, Hassan. Hello, Anne. How you doing? Hello, Cosmic. What's up? Hello, Dave. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you, Cosmic Mirror. I appreciate that. A floating heart. So we've got the High Priestess in the reverse, Strength in the reverse, and the Ace of Wands. What was it that the Sleeping Beauty witch had? Was it a poison apple? Was that Sleeping Beauty? I think it was. This is like something beautiful. Oh, that's so cool. It's like putting up like an actual coffee in my face. That's so cool. Thank you, Anne. We've got somebody here who's like gifting, which is it's like perfect timing because you all just gifted me things. Thank you. But this is somebody who's saying, I want to gift something to you, but it's not actually a gift. Very like Trojan horse without the soldiers. So what does that mean? Maybe it's like a teddy bear with a camera. Maybe it's, I don't know. This person's devious, okay? It's probably to collect more information. But just remember that when people have things to give you, most of the time it's for good reason. Most of the time it's with good intention. But you got to be able to use that discernment because this gift is not something that I think you want. This is something that helps them create the chaos. Two of Cups in the reverse, Eight of Cups in the reverse, and the Ten of Swords. The goal here is, like I said, to create chaos, and I do feel like I want these two business partners to not be friends anymore. I want these two, the married couple not to talk to each other or like each other anymore, or I want the family unit to be causing problems for each other. This is about whatever the Ten of Cups was, an inner circle. That inner circle is where they want to cause their chaos. Hello, Fitzroy. How you doing? Hello, Fate. What's up? Yeah, I feel like it's really important to not like reject every gift that we are given because there are going to be blessings and abundance that's, those things are meant for you. We have to be able to use that discernment. So I'm going to always probably err towards being more optimistic than pessimistic. I may not have always been that way, but I do feel like there are good things out there for people to enjoy, and I don't want you to miss out on those. That's why we have the intuition and the discernment. It'll help you out, right? Hello, Newport. How are you doing? Oh, hopefully not that kind, Dracula. Ooh, power potion. Thank you, Anne. I love it. All right, so what else do we have? Page of Cups in the reverse and the Knight of Rings, which would be the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh, you're so generous. I've never seen them pop out at me like that before. Usually it just has like a little announcement so you can like rate on the live chat thing. Hello, Night Fox. How you doing? Thank you. We've got Page of Cups in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, because this is somebody who, it said at the beginning, we've got a madman. Now, I don't really like to talk too much about mental health in terms of like judging people, because I think everybody's got things that they need to address from an emotional or a mental standpoint, and it does us no favors to just be like judging. We can help each other out and lift each other up, and I don't want anybody to feel like they're a bad person because they're going through something, right? But this is saying that we have somebody who is in a very bad way emotionally. So they may have been rejected, they may have lost everything, they may have been cheated on, they may have been fired, whatever it is. This person is not happy in multiple areas of their life, and this is a part of why they are seeking to cause chaos for others that are happy, right? Hello, Michael. How are you doing? We have the Magician and the Chariot. So whatever gift I give you, I'm not telling you what that gift actually does. Or, you know, you think it's a painting, but there's actually like a camera in it. I guess I used the teddy bear example already, but you know what I'm saying? Or like one of those tracker things. I can't remember what they're called. There's deviousness behind this gift, and it's something that the madman feels is going to enable them to do what they want, enable them to cause this problem or this chaos, right? Hey, Burger Cat. I've seen you here before. I'm going to encourage you to read the Bible, especially the parts where it talks about tolerance and judgments. There are some really awesome people in my live chat that you're potentially missing out on because you want to judge them for their beliefs. And I don't think Jesus would be behind that. I still hope you have a wonderful day, but I will block you if you come back and do that again, okay? Hello, Brianna. How are you doing? Yeah, TWL, I've heard of that as well. In fact, I feel like that was actually the plot for one of the episodes of Letterkenny for the hockey team, right? Is an actual thing. Hello, Nat. Okay, do I say Natalie or do I use the H in there? I don't know. It looks like your name is French, so I'm gonna assume it's Nathalie. I don't know. I'm not very good at French, forgive me. Thank you, Brianna. So we've got the Hermit here. I love this card because it's the investigator card. Notice that we have these two cards together. The Chariot would be this person who wants to cause chaos, and the Hermit, it's like they're sitting by the side of the road and they're watching or they're observing and they see what's going on with this Chariot, but the Chariot has their head turned. They don't realize that the Hermit is onto them. So I would imagine most of you resonate with this Hermit, the person who has the Ten of Cups or is being envied by somebody. And this is saying you're able to do some recon of your own. You're able to figure out what's going on. You just have to trust your intuition when it tells you that things are a little bit off, right? Hello, Aditya. How are you doing? Hello, James. Yeah, chaos indeed. So we have Justice. Yeah, I think there's something that is observed by the Hermit, the investigative energy here, the person who may be a little underestimated by the Madman. I don't know if I should call them that because it doesn't have to be a man, right? I think in this instance, I'm going to call him the Fool. I don't normally like to use the Fool because it implies that we have somebody who's like not really very smart. But I'm going to go with this architect madman person who does not have to be a man. Is a bit foolish because they're picking on somebody without realizing that they're the Hermit, somebody who's wise, somebody who can figure them out, somebody who is smart enough to protect what they treasure. This Four of Wands is about accomplishment. I've gotten this far. This is what I have, whether it's a relationship, a business, domestic bliss. You're not about to let somebody come through and like cause some problems. So I feel like, I don't know, you're getting ready for a little bit of a battle. You're getting ready to call this person out or ruin their plan. Makes me think of like 80s movies. Should we call this Revenge of the Nerds? There's someone here who feels like their plan is airtight. They're going to do exactly what they want and not have any trouble for it. But they don't realize that they're dealing with somebody who is, like, you've been through it. Now, sometimes when you have really healed people, they are going to be a light. They are going to be, like, they draw people in, right? Sometimes people get so taken by how they look or what their energy is like, how funny they are, or just like that magnetism, right? That they don't really do a good job of analyzing who they're actually dealing with or taking into consideration that sometimes the most kind people that you run into are also the ones who are most capable of realizing who they can trust or leveraging that discernment or cutting people off. Kindness is not weakness. And I think this Fool has been looking at someone assuming, oh, since you're super nice, you're probably not going to be able to even like fathom that I could do something mean to you. Au contraire. There's a lot of good things said about this person, but they're also, I think they've been through it. I think they know what it's like to be dealing with people that are untrustworthy. So just because this person has been very positive or has been a pillar of the community or people look up to them doesn't mean they don't know how to throw hands. This person's like, yeah, no, I know I've been looked at lately as somebody who's very kind. But like if you'd known me 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it's a different story. So they don't realize the depth that this person has, the levels that they've been through. Hello, Redbeard. How you doing? That's perfect, Anne. Hello, HF. How you doing? Hello, Raymond. I'm sorry you're going through that, Neko. Is it Nico? You tell me how to pronounce it. We've got the wishing well. So this is someone who's been through quite a lot of challenges, and they've worked to get into the life that they want to have, the peaceful existence that they want. Not only is this Fool underestimating the person that they're going after, but also the inner circle itself as far as how strong it actually is. For the dog to come out, this talks about loyalty. This is like maybe more than they could handle. This Fool might think that they know exactly how to create chaos in a small group, but they may not have, actually encountered a group that is this communicative or trusts each other as much as they do. So I feel like this Fool is about to be surprised with how their plans work or don't work. Okay. Are you addressing me, Neko? Just like explain yourself real quick. Because like, you don't know me. Not even a little bit. Party select. The players we choose to team up with are always going to be a determining factor in whether we feel like a winner or a crash out. That's what I'm saying. This inner circle is legit. Real friends bring support and good times. Requires also being a real friend. That's what I'm saying. I feel like this is a group where people really do have each other's back. Now, is this a family with children? Maybe. Is this like literally a crew with people that have been friends for 2 decades? Possibly. Could even be a workplace. But these are people who have each other's back. And they chose expertly as far as who they would be matched up with or who they would be working with. Going with the flow ain't a bad idea. Or as I like to say, flying by the seat of your pants. So we've got free for all. I'm trying to read it. It seems there's some disagreement on what the party's goals are during this venture. Everybody wants something different, and there's concerns as to whether or not the cooperative effort can be successfully cooperative. That's because this Fool person has a different idea. They have a different idea of what they want to have happen or what they think about you. And I think you realize it before they expect you to. You notice something's off. The cleric. The cleric is a healer who taps into the energy of spirit guides and angels. So engaged with spirit, they're often perceived to be aloof by others. Having a cleric in your party grants divine favor. I feel like that's who this hermit is. Hermit and cleric seem to be very similar in my book. Although you could argue the cleric is the Hierophant, right, with the church setting. But I see this as very similar. Look at the way the church window is behind him and the way the lantern is over the hermit. This is like they didn't really expect to start something with a person that could outmatch them or anticipate their moves. Oh, that's so cool. I'm proud of you, Anne. Yeah, let the universe handle that. They'll do a great job of it. Hello, Melissa. How are you doing? Thank you, Raymond. Let me write that down for you real quick. In October. I got you. I will probably do the general reading for another like 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll start the personal questions, okay, Raymond? And you would be the first one. So the last one that we pulled from this is the hero. The hero is a natural leader. They follow a strict moral compass and tend to act selflessly. They are a well-balanced protector, and they will always speak up for the exploited and downtrodden. I feel like this is someone in the inner circle. Could it be the hermit cleric? It could. But I think this is, for most of you, somebody else who's like, yeah, no, I can tell you're trying to cause problems. You want us to fight, or you want us to not be like a solid group anymore. But that's not going to work because I've had this person's back for decades, or because I've known this person and I know I can trust them. It's like, no, you're not going to cause an argument. You're not going to cause distrust. We've worked too hard to build that teamwork or that, you know, crew, that sense of family. We're not going to let you ruin it. Yes, reclaiming your energy. Well done. Think of all that you can do with that now. So this Fool energy is feeling that there's a time crunch. What they thought was going to happen has not. They're finding that whoever they've been trying to cause chaos for is actually really protected. You could say they feel like there's someone protecting you, or you could say that there's an understanding now that maybe they've picked on someone who's smarter than they expected. And they're realizing whatever illusions or lies that they've been peddling may have actually just made them look a little bit silly. Sometimes you can lie and get away with it, and other times you lie and you get caught. And I think they're realizing that because they underestimated your intelligence or the tight-knit, like, inner circle that you have, that now they look kind of silly. It's like the lie that I lied. It didn't really reflect who I was talking about. Anybody who's anybody would have known that that was not true. So now they feel like they don't have any way to smooth things over or make it look anything other than what it is, which is them trying to cause problems. So they might be kind of stuttering or stumbling through a conversation, not really sure how to navigate it, because really they kind of have to like walk away at this point. They can't salvage it. Hello, Meredith. How are you doing? Me too, Dave. So we do have the Twin Flames card, Insatiable, and Love Affair. So does this mean that this is your twin flame trying to cause problems for you? It very well could be, especially if they are jealous of you being in a happy relationship. For others of you, though, I think this is more so talking about this is somebody who has pledged to do right by you, or somebody who has an obligation, and they seem to just disregard that entirely because they're more so interested in causing chaos. Now, I do think that this is somebody who might be seducing or trying to leverage their physical appearance in order to cause this chaos. Who can I get involved with? Who can I make look bad because I was hanging out with them at their place? You know what I mean? So there's this flirtatious kind of primal energy that someone's trying to leverage to cause chaos. But I think they encountered someone who was very uninterested or who like doesn't really play that game. Look, I'm seeing for one in particular that someone thought that they could seduce a person in the group to cause chaos, and they completely misunderstood this person's sexuality. It happens. We have the siren. As enchanting as it is, the reflection in the water, it can lure your soul to depths where illusions falter. The siren would be the fool energy, someone who's trying to get dirt on people or trying to get people to go off the path or, you know, not really do right by the group. But they couldn't convince anyone to do that. Hello, Real. How are you doing? It's more than that, James. Hello, Jetta. Hello, Dreamsy. How you doing? It's an interesting name. We've got Gargoyle and Toad. In stone I'm carved, left alone in the cold, always watching over, protecting stories untold. Interesting that we get the gargoyle when we also had the stone angel come out earlier, the statue. I feel like there's something here that was watching. Maybe I have my own cameras and I see you try to plant your cameras and it's just, oh, well, now we can like make you think something else is going on because I'm going to say things that are completely not true just to throw you off the right path. So we have Toad, personal growth, transformation, and letting go. This is somebody who is trying to break up a group of friends or make, you know, for a lot of anger within a happy relationship. And they're just getting shown the door. It's not going to happen because the people they're trying to mess with have already gone through a lot of personal growth and development to the point where they can see what's going on and they're not like easy to fool. So, all right, this is the What's the News deck. And then after this, I'm going to start with the personal questions. Hey, Choki, please stop repeating your question. Just so you know, if you like blow up the live chat with that, it makes me less likely to want to answer your question. I do offer personal questions at the end with priority to those that have tipped, but it's also just nice to like make sure you're contributing to the live chat in a constructive way instead of blasting it, you know? So we have cuffing season and paranoid. The Fool was hoping that because of the season, maybe I have an opportunity to sow some doubt and make you question whether or not you can actually like trust the person that you're dating or trust the person that you're working with. I do feel like there's some flirtatious energy, like I'm trying to create drama by seeing who will sleep with me, that kind of thing. I don't think they were as successful or like at all successful as they were hoping to be. So we have fed up, over it, not having it, and frustrated. I feel like this is the not having it part. No, thank you. I'm not interested. Seems to be something that they heard over and over again. I think we're just dealing, I wouldn't say that it's negative. We got a group of friends that are not able or are able to deflect and keep somebody out of their inner circle that wants to create a fallout or infighting. So I think that's really great. Whoever is trying to be a problem is failing epically, and that I think is a great thing. Don't mess with people, right? Focus on yourself, work on what is important to you, and let the universe handle the karma element or putting people in their place. But we have this group, this 10 of Cups, whatever that represents, they're able to move forward because they're doing things the right way, because they don't fall for the tricks that this Fool is trying to implement. It's true. I agree. Hello, GP. What's going on? No worries. Hello, Dennis. What's up? So we've got someone who is going to turn to a little bit of escapism because they don't get their way with this group. They don't get to cause any problems. They're met by a brick wall because people see through them. People see through the illusion, and they know that whatever is being lied about is not something that would actually happen. There's too much respect or admiration or actual love within this inner circle to create this problem with so low effort. Like, try harder. No, don't really. But they didn't do enough, right? They underestimated the intelligence and the intuition of the people they were trying to mess with. So, all right, let's start on the personal questions. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas. And we've got Raymond up first. That's awesome, GP. I'm doing pretty well, thank you. All right, so what can Raymond expect in October, please? What can Raymond expect in October? We have the Star in the reverse with the Three of Swords or the Three of Needles in the reverse. And the Page of Potions or the Page of Cups. So there's something here that initially seems like it's going to cause a problem. Something that, it's like, I don't know what, it's like you land in the wrong place. So if I'm supposed to be staying at this hotel, but I'm at this one instead, it ends up being for the right reason. It's like you're in the wrong place, you get the wrong directions, or you make a wrong turn, but it ends up working out in your favor. There's someone here that you meet, or there's an idea that you get, or some inspiration. It's like you take a wrong turn and you find your favorite place in town, a park that nobody goes to and it has a perfect view and you can just go there and like chill. Whatever this misdirection is, it works out in your favor. It helps you. It makes your day. Whether there's another person involved or like just a really peaceful situation, just embrace it. Roll with the punches, I guess. Yeah, no worries. Sounds good, GP. So we've got the Chariot and Justice. So there's an unusual delivery system for some good karma, something that gives you an edge or a leg up, and it involves going off the beaten path or taking the wrong turn. So don't get too pressed about getting back to the right street. You might find something that you love. All right, so for TWL, should I meet with the wives in the inner circle? So in TWL's best interest to meet with the wives in the inner circle. Not yet. There's something here that's about to happen that acts as a catalyst to the conversation. Right now, if you were to talk about it, it may not be as broadly accepted or understood, but I do feel like in maybe the next week or two, there's going to be something that happens that makes it more, it's like people are talking about it more. And then that's a good time to say, okay, well, I think I know what might be going on. But wait for that little like prompter, right? Hey, Bumface, how you doing? Ooh. That's wild. Okay, so the person who keeps leaving waste in the bathroom, what will stop them? What will stop them? I just heard Saran Wrap, but I don't know if that's just me being weird or spirit guides. 8 of Presents or 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Hermit in the reverse. Three of Candles or Three of Wands in the reverse. There's a possibility that someone's going to lose a job or lose their standing. There's a possibility that someone's going to be in a not great mood or don't feel great about themselves when they're discovered. I think someone might catch them. All right, I'm going to tell a story. So I worked at an office once where there were, oh, let me write this down real quick. Oh, that was you. Thank you, Bumface. I like you. You're the best. I worked in an office where there were 3 levels, and the company itself was like 50 employees. And on the 3rd floor, there were only like maybe 9 or 10 of us, and the first 2 floors were pretty populated. So I think you know where I'm going with this. Whenever anybody had like serious business, they wanted to come to the 3rd floor, which I wasn't a fan of. Now, I'm not going to say that my office was like right next to the bathroom door, but my office was next to this big chalkboard that was like the back wall of the bathroom, and people had to walk past my office window in order to go down the stairs to their office. So I started a tally. I started a tally of who was leaving their waste on the 3rd floor that didn't work on the 3rd floor. And I even tallied it for the owner of the company, you guys. I am wild. But I'm sorry, you have your own bathroom. Do I come down there and use your bathroom? So I guess what I'm saying is there might be somebody who does a little bit of watching. There might be somebody who does a little bit of like investigation. Do you have a chalkboard? Do you have a security camera that is expertly placed? I feel like this person's gonna get called out or they leave. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my story. All right, hello Erkan, how you doing? Hello Dwayne. Dwayne would like to know, do you see things getting intimate between me and Lisa? Tell me how it goes, Bumface. Yeah, by the way, if you're curious, the Poo Patrol, thank you, Matt, did work. People started using their own bathroom because they knew I was watching. I'm an awful coworker, apparently. But, like, you know, whatever. I hope you enjoyed that story. All right. So what about with Dwayne and Lisa? 8 of Candles or 8 of Wands in the reverse. The Sun. It looks unlikely. It looks like there's someone else involved here. So what I mean to say is like there's something here that you're not being told that is an obstacle or a block between you and Lisa. It could be I'm just like not ready to trust people anymore, right? Thinking about an ex and how they did me wrong and it makes me not want to entertain anybody. It could be a current love interest that they don't want you to know about. But I do feel like there's something here that you don't know about that they see as a hindrance or an obstacle to the two of you being together in that way. Will Lisa be honest? Possibly. The Moon and the 7 of Cups would more so tell me that I think there's something that is like mistakenly commented on or brought up. I think you're gonna find out what this is what I'm saying. But I do think that in Lisa's mind, it's an obstacle or a barrier to you two being together. Thank you, Bubface. I might delight in the idea that someone from that workplace happens to watch this video because it's probably one of the coolest things I did at work. Oh, Lord. Hello, Maria. How are you doing? I appreciate that. I guess that You're wrong, but thanks for trying. I'm not saying she's seeing anybody, but she might be talking to somebody else, Dwayne. There's something here that's like a block. It could help to cautiously bring that up. Like when I'm about to end an interview or, you know, say goodbye on an interview, I like to say, you know, based on what we talked about today, is there anything that you would see as a barrier to wanting to employ me or have me on the team? And if so, could I have the opportunity to speak to that? You're going to want to talk to a person that you're interested in romantically, much less clinically than how I just said that. But if you're able to broach a conversation by saying, like, is there anything that we need to like deal with? Or what could I do to, you know, make it seem like it's more, I just don't want you to sound creepy. But if there's something in the way, like, can I know about it, right? Oh, I am so sending you protective healing energy, Brianna. And if anybody else can send some protective energy. Sorry, I read Bumface comment right after yours. But yeah, if you're able to send some positive healing energy towards Brianna, I would very much so appreciate that. And I'm going to keep you in my prayers. Aw, that's sweet. All right, so what do we have for Brianna for the next few months, please? Knight of Candles or Knight of Wands in the reverse, Knight of Needles or Knight of Swords in the reverse, Ace of Needles or the Ace of Swords with the Four of Candles. All right, so this is telling you to go slow. Take time to rest. Nothing to rush. These both are cards that talk about really fast-moving energy. And so, Brianna, this is saying, like, if you're going to deal with things that are asking you to move too quickly or to exert yourself too much, err on the side of caution, take it easy, put your feet up, smell the roses, watch some movies, watch some old reruns of like Jersey Shore, whatever it is. But it's really important for you not to be moving too quickly. And then I see with the Ace of Needles and the Four of Candles or the Four of Wands that there is a truth here about why things are different for you this time around versus the other times. So take comfort in the fact, okay, this is really weird. I feel like there's something that has improved with your blood. It's not super weird because I'm looking at vampires, but I feel like you're in a better health place right now, which is good in terms of being able to handle this better, right? But seriously, biggest hug and lots of healing energy. All right, I think that's too funny. We have Mike Madman. Man, look, check out what the first card was. All right. Hello, Angelique. What's up? Hello, Angie. All right, I'm going to leave it there, y'all. I'm getting hungry. I got to go eat some food. I thank you for the likes and the subscribes and the lively chat. You're the best, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.